Former AG Tan Sri Ambrin Buang told the High Court today that he agreed to amend the audit report on 1MDB on Datuk Seri Najib Razak's instruction on the former Premier's promise that there would be a thorough probe into the fund. Ambrin said he raised the matter of 1MDB producing two different versions of financial statements to the Companies Commission of Malaysia and to Deutsche Bank and Ambank to Najib. However, Ambrin said Najib told him to not include this in the audit report and promised that this matter will be brought to the relevant authorities for investigation and they would get to the bottom of it. Ambrin also revealed in court the existence of two sets of meeting minutes from a specific board meeting, one which recorded the presence of fugitive Low-Tech Joe and one that didn't. The meeting, which took place on September 26, 2009, was when 1MDB approved the JV with PetroSaudi International. Ambrin said the meeting minutes the National Audit Department initially obtained from 1MDB had recorded Low's attendance, which had raised some concern given Low's lack of an official position. However, a subsequent copy of the minutes from the State Fund did not contain Low's attendance. Ambrin testified that Najib's former private secretary Tan Sri Shukri Saleh had demanded to exclude the paragraphs mentioning Low to avoid it being spun by the opposition. FGV Holdings shareholders have agreed to the revised fee structure for its board of directors and an EGM that was held today. The new structure involves a reduction of fees payable for FY18 to 1.1 million, along with 490,272 ringgit in board committee fees. According to Group CEO Datuk Haris Fadzila Hassan, the main change was a 50% cut in the chairman's fees to 300,000 from 600,000 previously. The director's fees remain the same at 120,000 ringgit. Previously, non-executive chairman Datuk Wira Azhar Abdul Hamid had waived some of his benefits for FY18, and with the outcome of this EGM, this means the benefits would be officially reduced going forward. Among the options removed include entitlement to home security, a reduction in personal bodyguards from 2 to 1, and the entitlement to one mobile phone every 3 years. Haris explained that the revised remuneration structure was a result of discussions between FGV and its major shareholders and was more in line with what other GLCs have adopted. To recap, at the AGM last June, major shareholders Felda, Koperasi Felda and LTAT had voted against the resolutions for payment of 2.55 million in directors' fees and 1.18 million for non-executive directors. The EPF had abstained from voting. Now with the issue settled, Haris says both the board and management can move on and focus on FGV's transformation program. AirAsia Group swung into a 51.4 million ringgit loss for the third quarter of FY19, a steep fall compared with the 915.9 million net profit reported the year before. This was due to a mixture of a fair value loss on derivatives amounting to 237.7 million, unrealized forex losses of 206.3 million, and changes in accounting standards. It should also be noted that in the third quarter of FY18, there had been a one-off gain from the disposal in an associate of 170.8 million. No dividend was declared for the quarter. In contrast, revenue grew by 17.5% to 3.07 billion, driven by a 20% year-on-year increase in passengers carried to 13 million. In a statement, AirAsia said that demand remains strong with load factor at 84% and its domestic Malaysian market share improving by 3 percentage points to 60%. Going forward, Group CEO Tan Sri Tony Fernandez gave an update on AirAsia's digital transformation, saying that it has set the right pillars towards becoming a travel and financial platform company. He said that this quarter, the group spent 50 million on digital staff, digital software, licenses and hardware, platform and systems, all the while keeping a firm hand on costs. Tenaga Nasional's net profit for the third quarter of FY19 spiked 139% to 1.2 billion ringgit from 501 million previously, thanks to lower operating expenses and fuel costs. This was despite revenue declining by 3.3% to 12.64 billion due to adjustments made for new regulatory guidelines. In the boss announcement, the national power provider reported that operating expenses fell 8.99% to 10.65 billion ringgit. ringgit. On a 9-month basis, both net profit and revenue saw modest improvement as the Nagas sold more electricity, but growth was tempered by regulatory adjustments. Going forward, the Naga is expecting its performance to remain stable for FY19, given that economic growth is expected to be in line with 2019 projections and sustained going into 2020, underpinned by private sector activity, especially household spending. Prestariang is ready to move past the cancellation of the 3.5 billion ringgit skin project and focus on rebooting its operations to become profitable again. President and Group CEO Dr. Abu Hassan Ismail says the focus now is on rebuilding the company. It had been a challenging year for the group as losses swelled to 21.27 million for the 18th month period ended June 30th, 2019, as Prestariang adjusted its financial year from end June to end December. This was despite revenue for the period jumping 2.6 times to 367.32 million ringgit. Abu Hassan explains that the losses were driven by provisioning, write-downs and changes in accounting standards. However, the company is now concentrating on transforming its operations to make it resilient in tough economic times, but warns that this would take time. He says after the troubles with skin, Prestariang will move away from project-based revenue and find more recurring revenue streams. To recap, Prestariang is taking the government to court after it had abruptly cancelled the project in December 2018. The court has fixed July 1st, 2020 for the next hearing on the matter.